Hi, we come to the last video of this tutorial. In the previous tutorials, we set up our environment with Vitis Vivado, Ubuntu and Peta Linux. Then we build our design using Vivado and we tested it using Vitis. Then we generate the Linux operating system with the Peta Linux tool, and the design we build in the second section. In this video, we will run the Peta Linux on the ARTY Z720, which we saw, and we get an IP, we connect it to our host and to the Vitis, and we write and run a Linux application on the ARTY board. As you remember, this is our design with the GPIOs for the push button, the LEDs, the RGB LEDs and the switches, and our ILA. And we have our standalone software. To start a Linux application, we need to start an application project. We still need the XSA file. We still need a name. But now we don't define specific core, we use the SMP. And it says we have operating system and we can use Linux, and we'll use the Hello World template. Okay. This is the Hello World template. We'll take the standalone software and we'll copy it to the Linux template and we'll start the changes. First, platform and XIL printf are files in the standalone. We can't use them. All the X parameter definitions are in the X parameter, which is part of the standalone. We can't use them. But for the Linux application, we need to define one memory space. If you remember, when I defined my addresses, I shrank the size from 64 bits to 4Ks each, and I gave the addresses from 0 to 4000. So now we need the base address, which is this, and we have the size of 4000. This is what we need for the Linux application. So we'll define those. We have the base address and the size 4000. Now we need to define relative address for each of the GPIOs. For the push buttons, the LEDs, the RGB and the switches. Next, we need to open virtual memory space. The command to do that is this. And we have to define, we need here an integer for it. And we have to define a virtual base and a virtual address for each of the registers. So we add the pointer for the virtual base in every register, and we give a command to define the virtual base to the GPIO base address with the GPIO size. This is the virtual address. This definition needs a few more libraries, which are those. Next, we need to define every writes or reads to every GPIO for the push button, the LEDs, the RGB, and the switches. So we define BTN address, which is the virtual base address, with the relative base address for the push button, and so on for the LEDs, the RGB, and the switches. Next thing we need is to change the command. We have the command from here, but they are no longer available, so now we'll change this in the Linux language. And we'll add the push button address, the same for the switches, the same for the LED, and the same for the RGB. Few cosmetics. And now we have to remove all the functions that were for the standalone system and not in the Linux system. So the init platform have to be removed. The print should be printf. The XIL printf change to printf, and the clean platform should be removed. That's it. We save the file, we build it, and we're ready to go to the board. I'll just add my camera and we'll go to the board. Now everything is ready to run the Linux application on our board. We have the board with our SD card. We put it in place and we make sure that the jumper is in the SD card position. We make sure that we're connected to the router. We have our terminal and we have our Linux application. Now let's connect the board. And the FPGA is loading, and we can see our counter, so we have the right design in the Linux configuration, and the Linux is booting up. The Linux at boot up, we will do ifconfig and we can see the IP that we got for the Linux from our router. Now we go to our Linux application and we'll go to debug and debug configuration. We configure the debug configuration. First, we need to connect to our board. We'll go to Linux TCF agent with a new, we'll give it a name, ARTY sys, and we'll add here the IP that our board has, port 1534, that's the main port. We'll test the connection. Successful. Our board is connected. So okay. We also see here that the VTIS will copy the compiled software to this location, and from there it will be running. So let's start debug. And as we see, since it's debug mode, it stopped at the beginning of the application. Now we can see here all the parameters, and we can do the step by step like we did in the standalone. First, we'll open the memory space and define our virtual address. Then we see that for each of the GPIOs we get the right address. Here we have the same address. This is a virtual address, not a physical address. So it can be different, but as you see, the first one is 9000, the second one is A. The difference between the four is the same as it was in the physical address. Now let's say hello world. And we said hello world. Now I have my switches on, so I'll be expecting 3 when I check them, and I'll push the 2 buttons and I'll check the push button, and I got 10, which is 1010 like I pushed. I'll check my switches and it's 3 like I said. Next, we'll write the push button to our LED. As I remind you, only the most significant LED is connected, so only this LED will light this time, and we got a light. Next, we'll check if my first switch is on. Yes, it is. And we load the push button number into it, but only the 3 least significant bits. So we got 2. The most significant bit doesn't count. The same for the second switch. And we combine the 2. We have 18, which is from those 3 we have 1 in the middle, and for those 3 we again have 1 in the middle. And we write this to our RGB LEDs, and we have a green light. I'll do this again only with 1, and the printf printed that the push button was at A and the switches were at 3. And we can do this again. Now I push only 1 button, so I got 1. The switches are still 2 on. The LED is now off. The first switch button is on, so we have 1. The second switch has 8 because it moved 3 bits. And together we have 9, which is div3 1 and div3 1, and we have a blue light, and we can write it here. Like I said in the beginning, The compiled file ARTY Linux ELF, it was copied to MNT SD MMC block 0P1. So let's look at our Linux. ls-la MNT SD, and here it was copied. Since it was copied, it's in the Linux system, we can run it from here. But now we can't debug, but it's working. And you can see that when I push one of the buttons, or two of the buttons, the LEDs are turned on. And I get the numbers. And I can push. So everything is working. And we have a Linux application running on a Linux operating system on the ARTY board, which was our target. I hope to find this tutorial useful. I hope you enjoyed it. I have. And thank you and goodbye.